Our hearts beat to the city streets. We began to feel the
What's up,
fire.
Animal Explorers? And if you are new here, my name is Kirsten. But if you're a returning subscriber, hey guys. And today's video is gonna be a second video of me reading ghost stories. So I don't know how long this is gonna be. If you are, sit down, relax, grab a snack, grab a drink. But it's gonna be a good one. Okay, so this one is called I Saw a Very Tall, Skinny Yellow Figure Standing in My Bedroom Doorway as a Child. This still haunts me to this day, and cannot explain what I saw. And I'm curious if anyone else has heard or heard of a similar experience. This was around 1991. I was about 7 years old at the time, and I remember my sister and I shared with separate beds. She was 2 years younger. Our parents put us to bed for the night. It was pitch black in the room, no lights or anything or TV. I remember I just couldn't fall asleep for some reason. This night my sister was knocked out pretty quick, or I probably wouldn't have bothered her out of boredom. I remember staring at the ceiling for a while and out of the window a lot until I looked across the room, and standing in my doorway was a very tall, skinny figure. It was solid glowing yellow. There were no facial features at all, but it had long arms and long legs. I was just frozen with fear and couldn't make any noise, to be honest, because I thought it was going to attack me or something. As a kid, I instantly put the covers over my head, hoping it would leave. I peeked out about 3 times to see if it was gone, and it wasn't. Just stood in the same spot. Its head was almost touching the top of the doorway, and it never moved. Just stood there each time I looked, so I finally mustered up the strength to scream out for my parents pretty loudly and started crying. I remember my dad rushing in, and he walked straight through this thing and turned the lights on. I remember telling this story that night. To this very day, I cannot sleep with a single door open. I've had other weird paranormal experiences over the course of my life, but never saw it again or really any figure. I'm still scared one day I'll see it again, but who knows. As an adult, I remember talking about it to my at a family event. My uncle casually bring up my imaginary friend Bebo I had back then. I have no clue if that's related, but freaked me out. First, I had heard of him, lol. Just curious about any similar stories or anything has been seen about anything like this. Well, that one's crazy. Okay, but this one is a really long one, so get ready, people. See, this one is called I lived in a haunted apartment for almost 9 years. Okay. If you knew it was haunted, why would you live there for 9 years? Whatever floats your boat, I guess. I'm a female, 34 years old. This is my story. At around, one second. Okay. At around 2006, my cousins moved into an apartment with their new husband. It was only a few blocks away from where I lived with my mom at the time. My cousins went on to have a baby while living in the apartment, and the baby had some health problems. It turns out he is on the spectrum and also nonverbal. In 2014, I was looking for a place to buy, and my cousin offered her an apartment. She wanted to have one more kid, and the apartment was too small. She made an offer that turned out to be really good for the both of us, so much so that I was able to pay the apartment off directly to her within a year. I moved to the apartment in mid-2015. I decorated the place with a mix of new and thrifted furniture. I had a specific look I was looking for my bedroom. I had a century-old wardrobe professionally renovated. It was gorgeous. Everything was fine for a while, but in 2016, I started having sleep paralysis. Okay. I want to see any demons like some people do, but it was a scary experience nonetheless. I also experience lucid dreaming quite often without ever trying to. It will just happen. In 2017, I started hearing noises at night. Now here's the thing, I have 3 cats, so most noises during the night don't scare me in the least. I always think it's a cat, or multiple, acting up. The noise I was hearing was very specific. It came from a corner where the wardrobe was at, and it sounded like someone was snoring or breathing heavily while I was sleeping. I tried to rationalize this, but I couldn't explain the noise. Some nights it would bother me so much that I would get up and look for the noise source. It really felt like someone was asleep in my bedroom with me. For context, I've had the same neighbors in that apartment for many years, so it couldn't be that. Suddenly, I heard it in their bedrooms. I did consider every possibility. I was certain the wardrobe is like a closet, we don't know what that is, was too blank. Maybe I brought something or someone in. So I dismantled the wardrobe and got rid of it. Why would you do that? Expect expect ex- Except for the base spot slash bottom part. I decided to DIY it into a little sofa. I stopped hearing that noise at night and I was pleased. A few weird things would still happen now and then, like objects would move or break inexplicably, but the noise was gone and I'd just think it's on my mind. In 2019, I got my 3rd cat. She was a tiny baby. I called her Gigi. All my cats were indoor cats, and always has been, and so is Gigi. She had never had a life outside my apartment, and yet she was extremely skittish. Everything would scare her. She would spend most of her days hiding behind things. To this day, we find it hard to explain her behavior. I guess some cats are just very anxious. Nothing weird happened in 2020 or 2021, which was good because I was isolated in an apartment by myself most of the time. Even Gigi was a little less nervous, perhaps because no one was coming and going, friends and family members. 2020, I moved to a different country for work, and my cousin, a different one, stayed at the apartment and taking care of my cats. Eventually, her son moved in as the apartment was close to his university, so he was living there by himself for a while. One day, he told his mom that he heard a weird noise at night, like someone was snoring in the bedroom next to him. His girlfriend never heard a thing when she was over, but he was pretty sure he could hear it most nights. Sometime later, he went into the bathroom in the middle of the night and saw a figure standing there, a woman with a creepy smile on her face. Okay, nope. I would have, no, I would have dipped. He pretended not to see her and walked back to bed. I honestly have no idea how he didn't run for his life. Ooh. What? He didn't? I would have, lol. Around the same time, Gigi started acting even more weird than usual. She would try to hiding high places and sorry if the camera is in a weird place right now. I seriously thought my camera turned off for some reason. But okay. Continue on. Hiding in high places, and by doing that she would end up knocking things over and breaking stuff. She knocked over mirrors and picture frames, even shelving units, and my cousin's son would often find her in unusual spots in the morning, like on top of the kitchen cabinets, which were pretty high and hard to get to, even for a cat, but she seemed determined to hide from or escaping something. In late 2023, I went back to my hometown to empty the apartment. I stayed there by myself with the cat for several weeks while packing up. One night, I dreamt that I was in bed just as I actually was in real life, and I'm laying on my side, FaceTiming my boyfriend. We had our cameras on, and at one point, as I looked at my own image on the screen, I saw one behind me. I turned around quickly, and suddenly she was above me. I had a weird thought like, there you are, I'm gonna get you. And so I grabbed her around the neck with all my strength and knocked her to the floor. She disappeared and I woke up. It felt real, and I was kind of proud of myself. I hoped she would get the message. I went on with with the day feeling pretty good at night. I was by myself again, but I did feel a little uneasy, so I decided to close the bedroom door and sleep on the couch in the living room. At one point, I was watching something on Netflix, cat sleeping peacefully by my feet, including Gigi. Suddenly, I hear the loudest, craziest noise coming from the bedroom. It was like 1,000 pots and pans had just fallen off the shelves. It was insanely loud. My cats jumped off and hid. I walked to the bedroom. I was sure something must have fallen off the one shelving unit left in the room. But no, everything was in place. My heart was racing, my cats were scared. I was trying to rationalize the noise. Maybe it came from another apartment. Then I got a phone call from my mom. She asked if I'm okay. She had a weird feeling and I might not be okay, so I told her what happened just a minute ago. She asked me to go to her place ASAP. Put my cats in the car, not an easy task as they were freaked out and left. I did go back during the day a few more times to finish packing, but never slept there again. It's been several months and I haven't rented it out or sold it yet, mainly because I feel uneasy about going back to the place and take photos and such. I will soon though. Funny thing is, sometimes people tell me these stories and I really think it's impossible. You'd live very long in a place that is haunted or seem to be. You really just try to rationalize the best you can. And the paranormal activity happens intermittently, so it's easy to brush it off as one off again. Interestingly, I was clinically depressed while living in that apartment, and I did make a lot of bad choices back then. Nowadays, my life is not particularly simple. I permanently live in a different country, have a partner with kids, and work really hard. So I come back to visit my family often. But despite the difficulties, a cloud has definitely lifted and life is good. Okay. Wow. That was crazy. Yeah, I would not be able to live in an apartment for 9 years if it was haunted. But I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give it a like, subscribe, and comment. But remember, if you're new here, go ahead and subscribe because I will definitely be doing another video like this. But peace, love to go to Bye guys.